Hello, this is Mark here at Garrett's Guitars in Portsmouth, New Hampshire, and I'm here in our Little Amp series to introduce you to a little amp. Say hello to my little friend, the almost little, what used to be called little, Silvertone, 1482. It's a lot of fun. It's probably the most famous little amp of that off-brand, so to speak, thing. They're going up rapidly in price. Are they worth it is the question. Should I mod it is another question. Why is it cool? Why is it not cool? Well, let's get into it, and we'll first have a look under the hood. Here it is in all its glory. So this was made by Danelectro for Silvertone. Silvertone amps will have many different manufacturers. They just kind of put out contracts and chose different companies in different years to make their musical gear, or most of their gear. They didn't actually make much at the old Sears Tower. So you'll notice the speaker baffle here has a square, an offset square as its front side, and we'll go around the back and we'll see it actually has a 12-inch speaker in it. So that 12-inch speaker, you know, that diamond-shaped cutout in the front baffle is smaller than the speaker, and that's kind of to give you like kind of a megaphony effect. So if you look at the construction quality inside, we have some particle board. We got some, it's mostly particle board. There's a few pieces of solid wood here. This one has the back taken off of it. Pretty common to find. They would fall off and such. As far as condition, this is kind of an average condition for one of these amps. These amps were bought for children to play with. They were often stored in bad conditions, and they weren't even well built when they started out. This one has a 3-prong 12-foot cable added on and the death cap removed, because that's how I do it with most of my own amps, and this one happens to be one of those. So, many inputs. We got a microphone and 2 instrument inputs. That's just, just, it seems like a feature. Wow, you can plug a microphone into this one too. That's cool. A foot switch. A thin, just bent piece of metal for the chassis. Some pretty comically small transformers. 2 6v6s, 2 12x7s. So you're saying to yourself, hey, there's a rectifier back here, that's the 6x4, and a phase splitter, I assume, there. But you're saying like, hey, this looks like a deluxe, it must be the poor man's deluxe, and people say that about this. This sounds nothing like a deluxe. And so people are constantly comparing them to them, because it's got a 12-inch speaker, it's got 2 6v6s, it must be a deluxe. No, it's not. And I'll talk about that in a little bit. So that's the back side. Once again, a lot of design, super cool. This little bezel around here, but made to be made cheaply, and as with a lot of Silvertone stuff, but made cheaply. And they didn't know that 60 years later, people would still want to play these amplifiers. So we got a volume for the microphone input. A volume for each, a volume and tone for microphone, volume and tone for instrument. Sometimes there's a cap or something, some difference between this channel and this channel. I don't even know if there is on this one. I gotta listen to it again. And tremolo, and the tremolo on these is incredible, and that's kind of what makes these so legendary. One thing is, you get that sound. It's Sears, it's inexpensive stuff. It's what the blues guys were playing. And people like Jimmy Page would use it for that reason, and even to this day, people latch right onto it because it has the bluesy sound, so to speak, which is an utter and complete lack of high end, and a really warm, cool tremolo. So what can be said about the sound? Some people said, like, hey, why don't you play these amps in these videos? And I say, sorry, that's a different guy making different videos. There's just a lot of examples of people playing into their cell phone camera amplifiers, and if I'm gonna make demo videos, I want them to sound really good, and so either I'll do them in a studio, or I will or just I'm here to talk about this amp, to tell you about it more than anything else. So the tremolo sounds incredible, and this is this other Danelectro amp in this series that this is manufactured by Danelectro. I think I mentioned that. And there's another Danelectro amp in this series that you can check out, which is pretty similar. And same thing, just this wonderfully warm to the tremolo. I was actually recording with this amp, and I brought up an EQ, you know, like a Renaissance multiband or something, and so it shows a little spectrograph behind your multiband. Very handy little EQ to have. And I wanted to add some high end to the guitar sound. Like, you know, cool guitar sound. I want to add some high end. It went up. You know, there's kind of, you know, of course, there's a low pass on like most amps. It went over, and then it right around 8K, maybe even between 6 and 8. It just dove down to nothing, and just was nothing all the way up to 12. So what does that mean? It means I couldn't add high end because there is no high end to turn up. So on EQ, you can take a quiet high end and turn it up some. This amp is all mid-range, all low mid, and that's what gives it that signature sound. So once again, the poor man's deluxe? No. If you want a deluxe, don't get this amp. This is not a bright amp. This is the deluxe isn't bright for a Fender amp, but is bright compared to most other amps of this vintage era. Warm. Should you upgrade the speaker? Sure, why not? The baffle is made out of Luan, I think, just the thinnest little composite material. So you're likely to ruin the speaker baffle by putting a heavier duty speaker on it. It's probably ruined already. Some people will recabinet these, because these cabinets rattle like heck. What else? Is it worth doing that? I don't know. You know, it's kind of like, will there be people in the future fixing up Honda Civics and putting them in museums? Maybe that is the, you know, maybe yes. Even the day-to-day thing needs some extra care. But by the time you pay what's market price on one of these, and then you throw a premium speaker in it, and you recabinet it, you essentially have a different amp. Why not just go looking for the amp that you're looking for? Just like this, it sounds really good. That tiny speaker magnet and tiny output transformer gets you that warm distortion that these are known for. The tremolo, like I said, excellent. Warmth, I guess, is the word for this. Great. Every once in a while, you just like, it cuts through, but not in a high-end kind of way. It's just like so present in that low mid that it just makes cool things happen. I enjoy playing through it. I recommend it. Do I recommend it for $200 every day? $400? Sure, maybe. Now they're going for $6. So when you're watching this, they may be going for $8. That's already gotten, I don't know. But super cool. Small amps rule. And this, I don't know if I've seen a small amp I didn't like, but this is one I specifically do like. So thanks for watching. Gary's Guitars. Like and subscribe, please. All that kind of stuff. Instagram, Facebook, anywhere else you can find us. Gary's Guitars in Portsmouth, New Hampshire. Thanks for watching. We have other videos in this small amp series. Check those out. We have nearly 100 other, well, no, we have more than 150 other videos, including a live stream. Check that out. Thanks for watching.